You know, when it comes to court cases, we often see the reactions of family and friends of the accused or the victim. But have you ever wondered what goes through the minds of the actual convicts? Well, today's video is going to give you an inside look at some of the most disrespectful reactions of teen convicts receiving life sentences. You won't believe the audacity and disrespect these young offenders show in the courtroom. From laughing and taunting the judge to flipping off the cameras, these teens truly show no remorse for their actions. But be warned, some of these reactions may be hard to watch, and it's important to remember the gravity of their crimes. We're not condoning their behavior or making light of their situations, but it's important to shed light on the reality of the justice system and the attitudes of those who are facing the consequences of their actions. So sit tight, buckle up, and get ready to witness some of the most disrespectful reactions of teen convicts receiving life sentences. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss out on our latest videos. Let's get into it! TJ Lane. TJ Lane, the Ohio teenager who brought terror to Chardon High School in 2012. Lane was only 17 years old when he opened fire inside the school cafeteria, killing 3 students and injuring 3 others. Lane was not a student at Chardon High School, but his sister was. On the day of the shooting, he was waiting for a bus to Lake Academy, an alternative high school he attended. He had brought his uncle's .22 caliber pistol and a knife with him. During his sentencing, Lane wore a white t-shirt with the word "killer" written across it in capital letters. He smiled, cursed, and gestured obscenely as the victims' families gave their statements. He was unremorseful and showed no sympathy for his actions. The victims' families were given the opportunity to address the court, and they did not hold back. They called Lane repulsive, wished him an extremely slow and torturous end, and said he should be locked away like an animal. They described how Lane's actions had destroyed their lives and left them with a pain that would never go away. Lane remained stone-faced during these statements and did not acknowledge the victims' families. When he was given the opportunity to address the court, he dismissed his lawyer's advice and made a brief, vulgar statement, showing the victims' families the middle finger. This caused gasps and tears in the court. Despite Lane's lack of remorse, the judge handed down 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Lane smiled and nodded as the sentence was read. The shooting at Chardon High School was a tragic event that shook the community to its core. The actions of one individual caused irreparable damage and pain to so many people. It serves as a reminder that we must always be vigilant and to take steps to prevent these types of senseless acts from happening again. Brandon Spencer. Brandon Spencer, who was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. In this video, we will discuss what happened and how the case was resolved. Brandon Spencer was in Los Angeles County Superior Court, where he was facing charges of attempted murder. It all started on a Halloween night when the 19-year-old attended a crowded party on the University of Southern California campus in Los Angeles. Suddenly, gunshots went off and chaos ensued as everyone scattered. Spencer reportedly ran but was stopped in a parking lot half a mile away, where he was picked up by the LAPD for questioning. A couple of days later, he was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. 4 people were injured, but fortunately no one died. Prosecutors argued during the trial that the shooting was a result of a feud between Spencer and a rival gang member, and that he was a documented, well-known gang member himself. Throughout the trial, Spencer maintained his innocence, but the jury did not agree with his plea. Nearly 50 family members and friends packed the courtroom as the judge read the sentence. Sheriff deputies had to restrain Spencer as he banged his head on the defense table. Despite the emotional outburst, Spencer was sentenced to 40 years to life for 4 counts of attempted murder. He expressed remorse for his actions and said that he was sorry for what had happened. However, he still maintained his innocence and stated that he was not a bad person, but had made a mistake. Fernando Salgado. Fernando Salgado, an 18-year-old Californian student who was arraigned on criminal charges in Fontana's Superior Court. Salgado was charged with 2 separate classroom incidents at A.B. Miller High School. When he pleaded not guilty to the charges, he was ordered to remain in jail until July 9th, and his bail was set at $300,000. Initially, Salgado calmly pleaded not guilty to the charges. However, he broke down in hysterical tears as he was ordered to remain in jail. He repeatedly cried out, "Get me out of here! I want to go home so bad!" to his family and friends who had arrived in the courtroom to support him. Salgado's emotional outburst was understandable given the circumstances of his case. He was wearing a green jumpsuit, which indicated that he was in protective custody. Moreover, Salgado's appearance in court followed that of his teacher, 27-year-old Emmanuel de la Rosa, who was also charged in connection with the alleged physical attack on 2 students. It's not easy to see young people in such emotional distress, especially when they are facing criminal charges. However, it's important to remember that the legal system is designed to ensure that justice is served, and that everyone is entitled to a fair trial. Salgado's case is a reminder that the legal system can be daunting, especially for those who are unfamiliar with its intricacies. The emotional outburst of Salgado highlights the need for more support and resources for young people who find themselves caught up in the criminal justice system. Nicole Kippmiller. Nicole Kippmiller was sentenced to a minimum of 8 years and a maximum of 15 years in prison for the slaying of her newborn son. Bay County Circuit Judge Joseph K. Sheeran also sentenced her to a minimum of 80 months and a maximum of 10 years for a charge of disposing of the body. This sentence will be served concurrently with the other. Kippmiller had been incarcerated at the Bay County Jail since her arraignment in February 2010. She apologized to her family and thanked them for their support. She also apologized to Sheeran, saying that she knows the case has been difficult for all. Kippmiller pleaded no contest to involuntary manslaughter and disposal of a body in exchange for the dismissal of a count of second-degree murder. The case was about trying to find justice for the baby boy, said Bay County Chief Assistant Prosecutor Nancy E. Barusco. Kippmiller's sentence brings closure to a difficult case for all involved. The baby's death was a tragedy, and Kippmiller's actions were unacceptable. The case was first brought to light in January 2010 when Kippmiller gave birth to a baby boy in a hotel room. She then placed the baby in a plastic bag and threw him into a trash can. When asked about the incident, Kippmiller claimed that she had given birth to a stillborn child and panicked, not knowing what to do. However, the autopsy report showed that the baby was alive at birth and died from asphyxia due to being placed in a plastic bag. Kippmiller was subsequently charged with second-degree murder, but the charge was dismissed in exchange for the plea deal. Natsumi Tsuji. The case of Natsumi Tsuji, also known as Nevada Tan, brought to light the issue of juvenile accountability and sparked a conversation in Japan about the appropriate age to hold children responsible for their actions. Natsumi was just 11 years old when she took the life of her classmate and friend Satomi Miturai in a brutal attack. The incident was fueled by Natsumi's obsession with the video game Battle Royale, where students take each other's lives on a remote island. Natsumi's case raised questions about the impact of violent media on young minds, as well as the role of parenting and social support in preventing violent behavior. It also highlighted the need for a more nuanced approach to juvenile justice that takes into account the unique circumstances and needs of young offenders. The Japanese authorities initially withheld Natsumi's name, referring to her only as Girl A in the media, which fueled speculation and interest in the case. This led to the emergence of the online persona Nevada Tan, which was used to describe the perpetrator by a group of internet users. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content.